Hey there, my crafty friend. Happy Monday to you. My name is Angie, and this is Tutu's Crafty Creations. And if this is your first time visiting, thank you very much. And if you are returning, thank you very much. In today's video, I have two cute, pretty quick and simple. The second one's really quick and simple, but adorable little cute Valentine's DIYs for you. I hope you're enjoying your Monday and take care, enjoy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Okay, project number one. We are starting off with three of the 5x7 frames from the Dollar Tree, some Waverly White ballet slipper and lacquer chalk paint, some medium to thin out my chalk paint, some dowel rods, some glue, and a wooden bead. And here I will start off. Oh, and this mobile that came out of one of the greeting cards that my sister has given me. And I will start off by putting chalk paint into each of these little containers. Start off with the white, then the pink, and then move on to my red. And contemplating, not quite sure, but okay, let's put some red in this one too. And I mix some white in with the red to get that light pink over there. And I start with the white, and Mr. Gibson decides he wants to come and visit, see what I'm doing. Painting, get out of here, buddy. There's not room for both of us. So I'm going to go ahead and paint around the entire sides of in the white. So the whole front and back, all the grooves, everything on it is being painted with all of the colors. And as you guys saw, Mr. Gibson, yes again, was loving to get up on my paint table today. Darn cat. So then once I have all three colors on all of them, I'm going to proceed on to the red. And get a nice coat. I give every color of paint gets 2 coats on these frames. And I did line up my frames some to get them. Oh, actually, I'm going to go on to the dowels. I'll get to that part later. But anyway, so I line up my dowels here and take my little hand saw. Actually, it's not a little one, it's a big hand saw. And proceed to cut these dowels. I had a little easier bit of a time on my lap, so I do proceed to move those over to my lap and get them cut off. And once I do have them cut, I take some of this sandpaper that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I do go ahead and go with this 80 grit and sand off any splinters that are on the edges of those 3 long pieces. And then once I get those all sanded down, I will proceed to paint them in the same ombre effect that the 3 frames are in. And as I was saying a second ago, I did use the frames to line up to get the lines as evenly as I could, but some of them I did not measure up, and I was not too bad on the eyeball in it. Get this red paint out and start painting my dowel rods. Get this one lined up here, mark it, and I am good to go. Get this one painted up. Realize, genius, let's do all 3 at the same time. It's going to make it much easier. And what do you know, it sure does. So get all 3 of these painted up. Good thing I know how to use chopsticks, and sushi's delicious because I can hold these and paint them with pretty much no ease. Or, yeah, little ease. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But anyhow, so I move on to the next color, the darker pink. Get a nice good coat on these. And these dowel rods only needed 1 coat of each of the paints. Line those up, mark them, and bam, I am good to go. Get all these ones painted. And then I will take my heat gun and give them a little drying so that I can flip them over and finish them off. And yep, fanning's not going to work. Heat gun, girl. There you go. Whip up that heat gun, dry these up, flip them over, paint them, and then it'll be time to attach them. And that's what we're doing here. We're getting all three of these frames together in a little triangle fashion. So I want the inside corners or outside corner of the inside of the frame, if that makes sense, to line up. And I will take these dowel rods and use them to glue the frames together. And I'm using the washi tape for that temporary hold, because it was too hard to try to get the frames lined up and then try to get the dowel rods on there at the same time. So I then flip it over and sorry for being out of frame. I'm going to scoot it up here in just a second. Once I realize you're out of frame, girl, put it where they can see it. Get my glue gun and put a nice little bead right down the center of that. Take the dowel rod and voila. And look at that. So cute. It's kind of a drooping ombre effect. I still think it looks adorable though. And then flip it over. Proceed to glue all three of those dowel rods on. And then once I get the dowel rods glued on, I take three of these the dowel rods there from the Dollar Tree, and I put three of them up there. I'm like, yeah, no, that's too tall of a steeple. So I take the three smaller pieces from the pieces that I cut and try to figure out how I'm going to put them on here. And once I get it figured out, I go ahead and get these painted along with a wooden bead, all white. One coat for these two, and I am taking that little piece of sandpaper that I had and smoothing down those edges too, since I decided to go ahead and use them. Waste not, want not. That was good use of 3 dowel rods. No waste. And I just wanted to let you guys know that this project here also didn't cost me a dime. Well, actually, I did put in one of my previous videos that I did have to buy some ribbon because I didn't have any. But other than that, everything that I used here today in this project was all things that I already had. So, bonus for me. And then once I get all three of these glued to the edges, the inside of these frames have this nice little edge on there that these dowel rods just fit perfectly into. So I just stick a little dab of glue on there, got all three of them on there, and then I'm going to stick a dab of glue on the center of the three of those and glue the bead on. And I'm going to glue the bead on so that the holes are facing outward so that I can string my ribbon through that hole. Give it a little pressure, make sure it's nice and neat, and then I'm going to flip it over and give it some little more glue for some sturdiness. And these guys here, these little things are called honeycombs, and they were so flimsy and they kept falling out of my fingers. This one kept jumping out, and I couldn't help but think of Pretty Woman, where she's sitting at the table eating the escargot, and the slippery little suckers, aren't they? It just made me laugh so many times. But what I'm doing here is just disassembling this little Valentine's mobile, and because I only want the honeycomb part of it. So just did you see that? It just jumped right out of my hands. Once I got it attached, there's these little plastic pieces on there to twist them together to get them to stay. But I wanted those off because I didn't want them to be seen because I was going to glue them. So it was just it was funny and it was a little challenging. But there I am with my glue, getting that stuck together as good as possible with the hot glue. I probably should have used some super glue with those. I didn't think that would work, excuse me, because I wasn't able to get all the glitter off. Well, actually, I didn't try to get all the glitter off, but The hot glue works just fine. And I like where it's going to be, so I proceeded to finish up with the rest of the 3 of them and get them glued on. And to be quite honest with you guys, trying to glue these ribbons on here and not move, it was a little hard. Kind of got on my nerves a little bit, but I really think that this project turned out super cute. Something that you usually don't see, and I've never seen, I don't think, anything maybe like this, but yeah, that big one doesn't work, so we're going to go ahead and go with that little one, and here I am, going to put my ribbon through the hole, make a faux bow so I get the correct length of ribbon that I want, snip that off, and then I will proceed to make a nice, cute little bow. And this bow that I'm about to make here, I call this the bunny ear bow. First, I'm going to dovetail my ends of my ribbon, flip the ribbon around the way that I want it so that it's readable, and then flip this ribbon around some more to make sure that everything's going to be legible once it's twisted around into a bow. And as I was saying, I call that a bunny ear bow. I don't know if I'm calling it the correct bow or not. I know there's many names for bows, but I don't think it's called a shoelace bow, but I don't know. Anyway, I think it turned out super cute. Give it a quick another little fluffy fluff right here. And this project is complete. Beep, beep, fluff, fluff. And on to the next project. So cute. If you like what you're seeing, guys, subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Project 2, some tumbling tower blocks, and some of that quick cold glue, some pieces of magnet, the felt hearts off of that card, and some paint from our previous project. And I will start off, I was going to start painting, then I realized, let's glue these together first, and then we can paint them. So we'll wrap this up nice and neat, and glue. And I am going to tell you guys a quick funny story after I tell you that the paper that I'm gluing on is parchment paper, so the glue does not stick to it. So the funny story is, magnets have 2 sides, and I know this. When those magnets are in that thing, in the package, they all stuck together, and I did not think 2 sticks about it. Well, once I finished with my project, had it all done, I was telling a friend about it, and the friend says, and they're not sticking to metal. Why aren't they sticking? I don't understand. He's all, well, they have 2 sides. I'm like, well, yeah, but they were sticking to each other, so I didn't think anything of it. And sure enough, I had them on there backwards. So luckily, the glue was easy enough to peel off the back, and I flipped them around, and you'll see in the final reveal that they end up sticking to the metal. Once I take my little handy-dandy scraper here that I got from the Dollar Tree and disassemble, take all these felt hearts off the card, I will decide which ones I want to use. And here I'm just giving these little pieces some last little paint before I just touch up paint. And I was just doing a little jig to my music. Do you guys like to listen to music when you're watching videos? Do you do your own crafts while you're watching videos? I like listening to music, and I like watching people do crafts. So once they're all dry, I will go ahead and apply the felt hearts that I chose. And so cute, so cute. Get them all attached, and then this project will be complete as well. I thought I was going to use some of that blingy, sticky tape stuffy from the Dollar Tree, but I decided against it. This wasn't a blingy project, so no thank you. Here I am gluing on these magnets backwards. Actually, I did have one of them glued on correctly. Get them all glued up, and we are complete. All 3 done, and so super cute. XOXO, and some hearts. And here we are, you guys, both projects. Thank you so much for coming today and watching. I hope you have enjoyed the projects that I put together for you. I picked you little honeycomb triangular ombre Valentine's decor. And then my cute little magnets. Thank you for coming. Thank you to my current subscribers. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. Leave a comment. Give me a good thumbs up. Those help my channel to grow. And until next time, I hope you all are well and have a good day. And I will see you in my next video.